Hey guys, DaveDisci, welcome back to my channel. So today we're actually going to be checking out some TAEKOOK rumors, and they're going to be addressed in this video. I'm very, very curious on our queen TAEKOOK lives and what her theories are going to be for this one. So this one is a fairly long one, so grab your popcorn, grab whatever you need, grab your teddy bear, because we are about to get into it. Before we do, please make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are new here, and also hit that notification bell so you can be notified of any new videos like this. And if you're a hater and you like to leave you hates comments, then you can also hit the notification bell so you can be notified to do so. Alright, let's just jump into it. I gotta admit, it's been a minute and I'm hyped for this intro. I love that. Ooh. I love that you picked puppies. Okay, so I told you today you are beautiful, valid, important. Oh, I think you are too. How are you doing, lovers? I hope you're healthy, taking rest, eating, and drinking well. Keep smiling, okay? I am doing none of those things, but thank you for reminding me. It's been a while since I did a video like this and decided to do a video clarifying some things out of my personal thoughts. Yes! We stand a queen who does her research. Part of this video is to realize theories, rumors, and facts that none of us know. Ooh, okay, I'm ready for it.
Before starting the video, I have
she's
to
talking.
mention something. This video consists of a lot of different subjects, even some rumors, and it's based on theories that might be controversial to you. And the theories are all based on another theory that says Taeyang and Jungkook are actually dating. So if it's not your cup of tea, feel free to close the tab, you don't have to stay, really. Last December I got a lot of different messages about different kinds of rumors. And a lot of people were feeling insecure, and a lot of people were just confused about things that were so obvious that they were just rumors.
He has a girlfriend?
So I decided to start this video by bringing up these rumors and then get into the theories that I actually want to mention. Let's start from the beginning of December. This is just an example, just to let you know not to believe in any rumor you hear. There was a rumor about someone seeing Jungkook on a date with a girl. Based on what she said, they held hands, kissed, and the girl only spoke in English. Usually this is the time you realize this is all just a lie, because even though Jungkook's skills in English are impressive, it's not fluent enough for him to date a girl who speaks only in English.
I agree, totally.
They mentioned that there will be a wedding and they want to come out, so they are hoping for people to catch them at the restaurant and talk about it. This sounds like most fans' fantasy, but realistically speaking, it doesn't make any sense. At one part, they said they wanted to come out next June, and then they said this year, which meant 2018. So yeah, it just didn't add up. Now let's move on to the rumors related to Dispatch. As you know, it's a website that was rumored that they want to out a gay couple from the industry, but it never really happened, although they have a very strange obsession with showing TAEKOOK contents from left to right. By the beginning of each year, Dispatch usually outs at least one straight couple, like how they outed Jennie and Kai this year. There were two rumors about it that a lot of you kept asking me about. One was the rumor that said they still had 4 more couples to reveal. I looked it up, but there were no legit source of it. Most of it were from Pan, that is just a website full of fake news. There was also another rumor about a list that was about to out which couples Dispatch was about to bring up next. And from what people said, Jennie and Kai were a part of it, even though the list was made months ago. But the truth is that the list was edited after the news came out. The list was made by fans, and they edited it later on to say it was because of Dispatch, but from the beginning it was just a fake list fans made to troll.
How did Dispatch know
Dispatch
this?
personally never said it, and it was never confirmed by anyone else either. So I think we can move on from the whole drama. This goes on for my videos too, although I try to be as close as I can to reality. At the end of the day, I'm just an analyst and I don't know everything. So take my analyses as what they really are, theories. They might be true, they might be not. We might never know. Speaking of theories, now I want to remind you of 3 of the theories I mentioned before and combine them all with the newer news that happened lately, and even mention a theory that I never mentioned before and it didn't even happen, but it still makes me feel really confused about it. The first theory that I want to mention is about Dispatch. From what I said, Dispatch won't out any gay couples.
Huh.
They know about the gay couple and they have a contract with the company, but they keep it low, and yet they still keep giving hints about the whole thing. The scenario fits with
They have
TAEKOOK
a
very well because
contract with
BT
Big
gives
K?
a lot of clout to Dispatch regularly, and Dispatch has a very strange interest in TAEKOOK. They tend to make everything about them even if it's not. The second theory that I want to mention is
I
about
love
the
that.
theory I
I
brought up
stand.
about the first 7 tracks of the Tear album. On BTS's comeback show last year, Taeyang said that Fake Love is about us. He didn't mention who he meant by the us part, but obviously Taeyang himself should be a part of it because he said us. Based on a live from Namjoon, we also noticed that the first 7 tracks of Tear are related. He told us to listen to them in order and pay attention to the storyline. And it all starts by Taehyung's solo trailer Singularity, which was a song both Namjoon and Taehyung kept saying it was about Taehyung and was written specifically about Taehyung. I analyzed the first 7 songs in another video and we saw the connection between them and how they seem to tell a single story. The story could mean a lot of things, but I personally could totally see it in an LGBTQ plus point of view. If you need more infos about the analysis, you can just check out that analysis, but the reason was this one called Confession of a Mask. It's a story about a man in World War II who is struggling with his sexuality and
Yes.
tries to accept it or put a mask on himself, which seems fit with the theory that I mentioned about how the story of Tear follows an LGBTQ plus story.
That I can't show you me, give you me.
The similarities become even more evident from the masks in Truth Untold when they say that there is a main character that is wearing a mask to hide a truth, or the one in
Oh my
Singularity, or
god.
even Fake Love.
I'm
And
not
it
saying
still
much because
really fits with the
I'm
theory.
not trying to talk over
And
her.
as I mentioned, the 7th song is Magic Shop, which is written by Jungkook, and in it he says that he's trying to tell his story, tell us not to feel sorry for him, and asks us to show him something, probably support, so he can show us something in return. So show me, I show you. Something Taehyung had been emphasizing on different kind of stage since the song came out. So both Taehyung and Jungkook implied that the story was about them, but in different ways. And in the end, they said that they want to show us something in exchange of us showing them something else. So keep both theories in your mind, and let's move on to the third theory that I want to mention. Before the comeback show, Jungkook told us that he wanted to say something that we still don't know of because nothing that was said in the show could be related to what he was implying. Although that night, Jungkook mentioned that after reading our letters, they wanted to be our moon and shine. And then Namjoon said that Jungkook wanted to be our moon, referring to him personally. Jungkook even told Jimin not to reveal secrets, and at the end, Jimin anxiously kept asking both him and Taehyung if they have something to say. Then Taehyung said, "So show me, I show you." Even after that, we could see Jungkook being associated with Moon a lot. The moon was mentioned in both 4 o'clock and Moonchild as well. Namjoon himself said that Moonchild was related to 4 o'clock, and in 4 o'clock, Taehyung wrote about 3 people. Himself, a friend that he was talking to, and I assume is Jimin, and a moon that was way out of reach. Then in Moonchild, Namjoon said, Moonchild, you shine. When moon rises, it's your time, referring to a certain time when the moon on this MV goes up and turns purple. We all know that purple is also something Taehyung invented, and ever since then, Jungkook keeps using it.
Yes.
So Jungkook being the moon and having to shine on a certain day to tell us something was what the moon theory was about. So if we put all these three together, the first one is about Dispatch, that knows about an LGBTQ plus couple, and they're just hinting it, but not exactly outing them. And the second one is about the songs that tell the story that is heavily LGBTQ plus inspired, and both Taeyang and Jungkook say is about them, and also they want to say something and show us something in exchange of something else.
I agree.
And the third theory talks about how Jungkook especially is trying to tell us something by being our moon. Let's also not forget about the letters Suga wrote for both Taehyung and Jungkook that was meant to be supportive and made them both cry. Or the GCF that Bang PD Nim himself asked Jungkook to do and we still didn't get it. Now, one of the recent things that happened was that Jungkook himself said that he wants to make an MV as his GCF, and Taehyung said that he wants to do the photo shoots for it all. Now let's talk about the more recent things. Earlier this year, I saw something that made me realize that maybe because of the contract, they're freer to choose if they want to give a fan service or not. One of the reasons was when Jin and Tae were asked to kiss, and they both refused. Taehyung said that he really didn't want to do it, and Jin said, just because people want me to, then I should do it? I won't do it. And it was very interesting because I've never seen something like this happening with them before. Also, another thing that most Taekookers already noticed is that Jungkook and Taehyung started wearing their copper rings again. It was a ring that they used to wear a lot since 2016, and it was so obvious to the point that even Jungkook's brother started drawing it whenever he wanted to draw Taehyung. And when they stopped wearing it, they started wearing matching bracelets instead, to be less obvious, and then after that, they didn't really match things together that much. But despite even putting it away for a while, they started wearing it a lot. And we noticed that sometimes they don't wear it when they're in front of the camera, but as soon as they wear their casual clothes, the ring comes back. Last December, Jungkook was very, very active on social media. We all know it, and we all know why we were so freaked out because it usually doesn't happen. But unlike before, he started doing a lot. He posted a lot of selfies. He kept making chat rooms to chat with ARMY, and he even said that the last time he'll do it will be last Friday, and he even told us we should send him a lot of purple hearts that day. And just like he said, he didn't open a chat room this week. He also kept asking us if we love him, told us to keep loving him no matter what, and prove it by putting his pictures on our profile pictures. But here comes the part that was strange. I want to tell you about a theory that I had, but I never shared it with anyone because, frankly, I didn't want it to be true. I really didn't like the theory and I was terrified of it. But it still made me confused.
What?
Because not only he was very active, he also kept hinting on the word goodbye a lot. The first time was when he covered the song in Hong Kong and kept singing, Say goodbye.
Oh, your voice stops. Wait, is he leaving? That's so beautiful. Oh my god.
The
Yes!
second one was the cover he did of IU, which was called Final Scene. It was another goodbye song. Also, after Mama, he and Taeyoung both posted something on Fan Cafe and talked about how much they loved us and the possibility of them saying goodbye, talking about what ifs. The word goodbye was just associated with them too much, to the point that I started to panic. Because if you know BTS, you know they don't talk about something unless it means something. And we knew that BTS renewed their contract, but we didn't know who in BTS because they just said BTS did it. And that's why I wanted to wait until 2019 to make sure that
Is
they
it the
will
army?
stay
They're going to
anxiously.
the army?
And
That has to be
thankfully, they
it.
did. So I'm going to stick to the original theory I brought up for why they kept talking about goodbyes instead of what I didn't mention before. Maybe it was because Jungkook really was planning to be our moon and show us something that was related to Tae too. So if they would, they might have to say goodbye. It was just a possibility they were considering and hoping that it wouldn't happen. But based on the 1, 2, 3 numbers that they kept hinting, nothing big happened on 12/30. Unless they meant 23rd of this month, which is a little bit unlikely to me, because as far as I could see, it never had a significant meaning to it. But I might be wrong. 9th of this month was Jungkook's day based on Season Greetings calendar, and someone from BTS posted this post on that day and said it's Jungkook day. And as you can see, these were the pictures they used, and it's interesting that in this picture, Jungkook is actually wearing the TAEKOOK ring. Also, Dispatch randomly started talking about Jungkook. At first, they just talk about his fashion sense and the bag he carries, and just yesterday they changed their profile picture to a selfie of Jungkook. The thing is, there had been a lot of focus on him lately, as if something related to him is going on or something about him is going to happen.
Wait.
Or maybe it was something that was
Oh my
supposed to
god.
happen but never did. Based on the recent things that happened lately, I can come up with 3 different theories. One is that the whole thing is because Jungkook is going to drop something soon. Even if it's not Taekook related, maybe it's a mixtape or something. Although it wouldn't explain why he had to be our moon and shine in order to do that. The second theory is that whatever he's planning didn't happen, and he's not going to do it anymore for some reasons. And the third one is that we still have to wait and see if he really is going to be our moon and show us something or not, and if it's also related to Taehyung, or everything was just a coincidence. Although I'm not sure how can all the inspirations and everything else be a coincidence. I'm just gonna take notes from DNA, I guess.
Yes.
At the end of the day, I'm not really a predictor, I'm just an analyst, so I guess we all should just wait and see what will come next, and try to separate rumors and theories from reality unless it's actually proven. Let's just hope for the best.
I love this. This was so good.
But I still want you. So show me, show you.
So I am genuinely so curious on this. I know very for a fact Dispatch is not going to out a gay couple because I think even if they did, I think they would get a lot of hate for outing someone, especially if they're not ready to come out themselves. I do think the rings are an interesting theory. I do think the whole goodbye thing is an interesting theory. I do think a lot of these make a butt ton of sense, and I'm very, very curious for you to leave your comments down below on exactly what you think. If you think the ring is true, if you think the goodbye theory and the moon theory is very true, or do you think maybe Jungkook is just, or Taehyung is just talking about going to the military? Let me know. I'm very, very curious on your thoughts on this. If you're new here and you're into stuff like this, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm also featuring this comment right here. Thanks so much for your comments. And as always, I'll see you in the very next one. Bye.